So I recently had a guy hit me up about what my thoughts are around the self-improvement era on YouTube dying, right? There's this whole thing of like, hey, self-improvement isn't a thing anymore, or like that's a trend that's dying. And like there's gonna be new trends that are coming around, you know, different creators. I think there's a new class of creators that are coming around. I'll give you my real and honest take on this whole thing, because when I started watching YouTube, I did watch a lot of self-improvement pages. I loved it because it really gave you like tangible step-by-step advice to do certain things. The only thing I didn't like about these pages were that they weren't giving me frameworks. They weren't telling me like what I actually should be doing from a high level. They were giving so many like prescriptive step-by-step things, and they work for the person who has no clue what to do. But when you get past that level, you're really looking for frameworks to be able to apply in unique situations. So for me, I got to and I'd already passed that just internally, like intuitively, I've already done a lot of the things that these people said. So I didn't resonate, but I did like their videos, and I did like how educational they were. But the reality is, self-improvement is not something that will ever die. It might take a different form in terms of how the content is created and distributed, but the whole idea of self-improvement is not going anywhere, right? Like everyone wants to improve themselves. It's literally an ever-growing, evergreen niche, even though it's the niche of all niches, right? Like everybody goes online, they learn from other people to improve themselves in one way, shape, or form. Now, the way that people are self-improving will be different, I believe. It's not gonna be all about looks maxing. It's not gonna be, there's gonna be new levels of improving in terms of leveling up your consciousness, understanding how different areas of the universe works, how the mind works, how can you leverage reality, right? Like how can you bend reality? Like there's going to be another level of improvement beyond what we currently see right now, which is the surface level improvement, physical shape, attraction, getting women, all of that is surface level, and I believe that is dying down because the reality is the whole point of self-improvement is to help you get better. So when you get better, you're gonna stop watching the things that you already have mastered, right? Like that's why a lot of these self-improvement YouTubers are kind of going out of style, because they're talking about the same things that everybody's already gotten past. See, the goal of self-improvement is not for you to keep watching the same things about self-improvement. The goal around self-improvement is to consistently evolve and have new challenges. And the reality is, most of these guys that are pushing self-improvement, they don't necessarily create new challenges for their audience. See, I'm gonna always create new challenges because I'm creating new challenges for myself. And we can look at somebody that's really big in the space like Hamza. I like what he's doing because he's pushing the envelope to now it's all about business. Now, you know, I could say that business is not just building a school community. I mean, you can build a product, you can build a service. There's a lot of different intricacies to it, but I do appreciate him pushing out his business model for other people to emulate, even though it may not apply in their situation because they don't have 2.4 million followers. So what's a business you can do with no followers, right? Or with a 1,000 subscribers or whatever that looks like. But I just say this to say, like, self-improvement is something that is evolving. It's not gonna ever die. It's just gonna take a different form. There's gonna be new things to self-improve on. I feel like everyone's starting to level up. Everyone's starting to become better in day-to-day life. And as people are becoming better, there are going to be new challenges that a lot of these surface level self-improvement channels are not going to be able to cover, and they're going to be able to die off. And there's gonna be a new breed of self-improvement YouTubers that are going to help this generation that has already been through that first wave of self-improvement. They're gonna lead them to another journey of self-improvement that goes beyond the surface, that goes more into the mental, that goes more into the spiritual. That's into understanding those different aspects. That's going to be the new wave. I genuinely believe that. Like, this version of self-improvement is great for a 16-year-old. But what happens when that 16-year-old turns 21 or 22 and has already mastered all of these basic frameworks that you put out, or these basic step-by-step prescriptions that you put out? Well, then it's going to be time to create a new challenge to tackle advanced issues. Same with business. Yes, it's one thing to understand the basics of business, but what happens when you've mastered those basics of business and now you've gotten to the point where you want to scale? Yeah, you know how to start the business, you know how to get your first 10, 15, 20 customers, but what happens when you want to scale to 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 customers? And now you have a team of hundreds of people. There are new challenges to be unlocked, and it's the same with self-improvement. You've mastered the looks maxing, you've mastered the physique, and like you have the body that you want. You have the health that you want. You have the woman that you want. You have even the money that you want, right? The next step, what's your relationship with God? What's your relationship with the universe? How do you think about the universe? How do you think about infinity? How do you think about life after death? Do you really ponder that? Like, these are different things that will start to become relevant because people are going to have existential crises, right? And to tackle that, there's going to be a new wave of people in self-improvement that will talk about advanced topics that will help most people with these issues. And I hope to be one of those people. So that's my whole take on the whole self-improvement is dying rhetoric. I don't think it's gonna die. I think it's just gonna evolve and become better. There's gonna be better role models, older role models that are gonna help the younger generation, even the generation that's like right around the corner, right? So if y'all found value in this, like, comment, subscribe, tap in with my personal branding, coaching and course below if you're interested in building your own YouTube channel, kind of like what I did. And yeah, let's get to it. I appreciate y'all. Share this with a friend who is into self-improvement and they might be interested in this topic, but I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. Deuce.